Hi everyone, welcome, and I wanted to ask you in a very short video, do you know your yardages? Yeah? Do you know how far you carry each club? Do you? Yeah? I don't think you do, alright? I think the majority of people do not know how far they carry each club. And I tell you why I think that, because I see hundreds of people every year and they tell me how far they hit it, and nearly always that number they give me is somewhere in between where it carries and where it finishes, all right? So where it pitches and then where it runs to. So here's a few little nuggets of information for you. You'll normally find, the expectation is that there is 10 yards between each club, yeah? So if you hit your 8 iron, let's say 140 yards, right? Then your 7 iron is assumed to go 150, yeah? Your 6 iron is assumed to go 160 and so forth. Yep. Not the case, right? You'll normally find if it is 10 yards between any of the clubs, it's probably between the 9, the 8 and the 7. Once you go from the 7 to the 6, it probably isn't, unless you're in the upper echelons of players, you're a stronger player, you're a lower handicap, you might maintain that 10 yards of distance gap between the club. But more often than not, the carry drops and the run picks up. But you don't notice because the actual total distance is around about the same. Yeah, because it doesn't carry as far, but it runs a little bit further. All right, so the 6 iron might actually only carry 7 yards further than the 7 iron. Yeah, but you don't notice because, like I say, the 7 iron ran, carried, and then it carried 10 yards difference over the 8, and then it ran 5 yards. The 6 iron carried 7 yards further. Yeah, but it ran sort of nearly 10 yards. All right, so you don't appreciate that, and especially to get towards the 5 iron and the 4 iron. Yeah. That can often come down to 3 yards of carry difference, yeah? And at some point, actually, you don't hit it any further. And that's when you decide, actually, I don't need a longer iron, I actually need something more like a 9 wood, 11 wood, 7 wood, 5 wood, driving iron, hybrid, 4 hybrid, 5 hybrid, 6 hybrid, 3 hybrid, whatever it is. So in terms of trying to maintain your gaps of distance into the higher ended, longer hitting clubs, you might need to look at that end and see actually where's your line need to be drawn. Where do you need to stop hitting longer irons and go into something a little easier to get the ball up and airborne, slightly faster off the face, and give you that extra distance that you're looking for with that club. All right. This is probably obvious as well, but you'll find that when you're hitting a pitching wedge, it'll be, let's say it's 110 yards carry. You might find actually its total distance is 111. When you go to the 9, it might be 112. Sorry, let's say it carries 120, and it might roll to 122, so 2 yards of roll. 8 iron, let's say it's 130 yards, 133 yards. Yeah, so actually what you find is a very general rule. I've seen this, a very general rule. Obviously depends on the conditions you're hitting into, but it's a very general rule. Then you can add on an extra yard at least of run for every extra club you take. All right, so that should help. But let me tell you, if you don't know your carry yardages, you need to. Yeah, you need to come and see us. You need to come and get a fitting set. You need to come and get a yardage session done, and we need to log your distances. And because that in itself will be fantastic information to help you get your handicap down and help you hit better shots, be more confident because you know the number. Less tension in you because you're not worried about whether you've got the right club or not, and it'll also flag up any areas where actually why those 3 clubs are all going the same distance. What the hell? What the hell's going on? Let's find those things out. It could be that your lofts have moved. Okay, the actual loft of your 8 iron is actually 2 degrees stronger or 2 degrees weaker than it should be. Yeah, same thing with your lies actually, although that's not necessarily going to affect distance directly. Those can move as well, depends if you've got forged or cast clubs. But look, guys, find it out. It's massively important information. One of the tests or the sessions that we do after we've done a fitting is the player get the clubs in with him, check them all. We check them all on you can't see it on the video, but we check it on the digital loft and lie, the swing weight machine, and we check everything as it should be. All right, and then we take our client for the test run. That test run is us checking that everything is as it should be, it works, it feels right, we'll adjust anything we need to if required, but we also get the yardages. And so the first time that player goes out on the golf course, they They know it works because we've had the test run. Yeah, we've checked it, we've measured it all up, we make sure it is what it's meant to be. It feels good, there's no problems. We've adjusted everything we need to, reset the woods if we need to in terms of the settings. And they've got their yardages, so they go out the golf course knowing they work. Yeah, so full confidence, knowing how far they hit it. So first shot they've got with their new irons into, you know, first hole, 133 yards. What's the club? I know the club. It's not, well, I'm not sure, I don't know how far they go. It's, this is the club, and I've got full confidence in what I'm going to hit because I know it works. Yeah. How different is that experience than, you know, ordering your clubs off the internet or just ordering your clubs through a shop, going to get it, get the box. It's really exciting, isn't it? You go and wrap it, you go and wrap the clubs, you go out on the golf course for the first time, and actually you're really excited, but you're a little bit nervous because actually you don't really know what to expect. All right, it's a very different experience. That's the difference between what I would call a retail fitting and a performance fitting. Performance fitting is a lot more thorough, and it doesn't start and end in the fitting session. It starts a long way before the fitting session begins, and it ends a long time after you might have got either your current clubs adjusted or you've gone and got new clubs. Yeah, performance fitting is a very different thing to get. But where we started with this video was getting the yardage done. That's really important. Okay, so if you haven't got it done, give me a call and we'll get it sorted out for you. All right, hope that helps. I'll speak to you soon.